Yeah, the customer experience is very important because we wanted to create something that was luxurious, something that was warm. It was the main entrance to Harrods, you know. This is not just another escalator installation, this is our front door. The Cato Holding wanted to reinforce the brand identity of Harrods, and when we briefed the architects we said it's not just about the machines themselves, it's about the architecture that encapsulated those machines. The brand, the history, and doing something really special with escalators.
The first thing that we had to look at is that Harrods is an international destination, and we were really had to be aware of the brand and how we were representing that brand in a physical way. So it's not just how it looks, it's about transitioning through the space, and as you move up through the space you get a different experience on every level.
Yeah, this is the first ever escalator project we've had, but something we've found a real challenge, yet something that's been really exciting through the entire process of the design and the construction. But even so, when the escalators first arrived and those were being craned in through the roof light opening, that was a really kind of nerve-wracking time. I mean, we were absolutely confident that everything was going to work out well, but just seeing these escalators drop down through 8 stories and just hoping that it fitted in absolutely perfectly was quite crucial to the success of the project.
Bringing the escalators into the building was a major logistic exercise, and our engineering team is very experienced at doing crane lifts. The actual skylight that was built in the 1980s was removed, and they just came in from the top, very, very slowly, very, very carefully.
If there was anything over a 7 kilonewton wind, they weren't going to go in because we had these tons of escalators swaying in the breeze.
The tolerances were very, very minimal bringing them in. Obviously you don't want to damage the escalators when you put them into place.
And then we only had such tiny periods of road closures and things like that.
But we had excellent people, very experienced at doing that type of work. And over a series of 2 weekends, the escalators were craned into position very successfully without any problems.
The inspiration for the design was the history of the building and this development of the history of the building. So looking at the external facade, we looked a lot at the fluting, so using the bronze, the Zimbabwe black granite. So we have a very minimal palette of materials, but a very rich palette of materials. And it's really important as designers to help reinforce this in the physical environment.
I think it hasn't only met our expectations, it's actually exceeded them. We were delighted with how the initial visualisations turned out. We thought they gave a really kind of classy, quite dreamy quality to them. But then actually when the hall is completely finished now, it's got much more kind of luxe, and the lighting and the way that's working against the materials, and it's all turning into a kind of really rich environment. So yeah, we're absolutely delighted with how it's turned out.
And also restoring, the historical part. A lot of the Harrods staff actually served in the Great War, and there were 21 names missing. So we're actually extending the war memorial to include those 21 names, and also restoring your travertine staircase. That's 100 years old. So there's a great sense of working for Harrods and creating something very, very special.
It was an amazing project, and it was one where from day one the intensity and the love of the Harrods team and their specialisations, you genuinely buy into this as something that is very special. And my response to it now is that it's found its place, and it's a beautiful resolution to all the things that we were asked to do.